Mike Owens here. Today joined by Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, legendary fighter turned promoter with his bare knuckle Gamebred MMA show 5 kicking off next Friday. Jorge, a pleasure and honor. How are you, my man?
Good, my brother, chilling. Like you said, about 7-8 days away from a historic event. Only the second time in history, in Florida history, that an MMA an MMA bout that's bare knuckle takes place. It's only the second time. The first time was Rory Nelson versus Dylan Kleckler in April. That was the first MMA sanctioned bout with no gloves, and this will be the second one. And it's Fabriciowerdum versus Junior Dos Santos, two of the greatest heavyweights that ever walked this earth, that are relatively still in their prime, and they're not just fighting, but they're fighting with no gloves. So that's all I've been up to, man.
I did want to ask about that. Why specifically did you decide to build this promotion around bare knuckle, and what are the specific changes that it builds in the fight, not only in striking but also in grappling?
In the striking, I think we know a lot already, but I'll touch on them again. You know, you can cut somebody fast, you could break maybe their bone maybe a little bit quicker because it's bone on bone, but you could also have hand injuries. You know, so you always got to be like throwing correct. Also, guys, somebody could time your shot, take it on the top of the head and like wreck your hand, you know. So it's slightly a different sport how you play this sport, you know. It has to be a little bit more precise, more martial arts, not in the grappling department. You don't have, there's the coconuts, get the coconuts. In the grappling department, you have these gloves, right? You have taping gauze, and then you have these gloves that you put on. It adds about 2.5, 3 inches, something like this, right? So that not only is more traction and grip, but that's also a bulkier place to get into. So let's say I have somebody's back and we're here jockeying for position. As I'm catching your hand, it's like married to mine now because of the amount of friction. When you remove these gloves off, and you're just in trainings, every MMA professional fighter knows, when it's no gloves, the chance of me catching you from me being in a good position goes through the roof because of the grip and the speed. And somebody that's good, like a Damian Maia guy, that guy, you when he has your back with no gloves, you probably can't stop him, because with gloves, I could barely stop this hand. When you don't have a glove, it's like a greased pig. It's like your hand is just flying. So what does that mean? That in usually these positions, we're seeing a lot of people get sold out. Now they're getting their back taken, they're getting choked the F out, or they're getting guillotined, you know. We're seeing it go up to the roof. So I love it that in that aspect, it's more finishing, you know?
Yeah. You mentioned the fight off the top there, Junior Dos Santos facing Fabriciowerdum in the main event, a rematch 15 years in the making. Just your fifth card, just your fifth actual promoted show. How big of a fight is this to begin the early stages of Gamebred promotions?
Well, I think for us, this was the biggest fight we could possibly make in the free market. With free agents, two highly decorated Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, world heavyweight champions. Both guys that were freaking amazing in their prime. I mean, JDS could have took out anybody in his prime with blazing speed and power. Werdum so versatile, was a good jiu-jitsu guy that then got good at everything. Could kick, knee, punch, elbow, Bruce Lee kick across the fucking screen. Fucking great fighters. And JDS, you know, I had the pleasure of seeing him in the gym and, you know, basically getting to bully him, you know, just bullying him. Like, bro, when you're gonna fight for me, just, man, I'm talking to this company, I'm already signed with this company. And this is over like a year and change period. And I see him, you know, and I shove him into the lockers, you know, because we're in the locker room at ATT. I'm like, you got to sign this contract, man. And he's like, no, man, I'm still on the contract, but I'll let you know when I get free, right? And fucking, I come into the bathroom and then JDS is like, motherfucker, you know, what's up, man? He goes, you still looking for a fight? Because I'm injury free, I'm feeling good, and I'm a free agent. I go, holy smokes, for real. So then we had a nice convo after practice. I called my matchmaker, Dean Toole, and we start talking, and I'm like, guess who's a free agent? He's like, wait, before you tell me that, let me tell you this. Guess who's a free agent? And I just talked to their manager for like over an hour, and they said they're ready to go bare knuckle. I go, who? Fabriciowerdum. And he was blowing me up. I was at the gym. And then after the gym, I had the long talk with JDS. Right after I finished hearing that, I tell him about JDS on that same day. And it's like the stars couldn't be more aligned. Like, how crazy that when we both find out, it's fucking nuts. So I knew we had to make this fight. We went at all costs to make this fight, to get it done. And for us, we shot to the stars. You know, this was the biggest fight we can make. Excitement-wise, I think it's going to be top 5 fight of the year, you know, in its own special world, because it's bare knuckles. There's nobody competing against it. This fight's going to be amazing no matter what. You know, whether it's submission, knockout, decision, this is going to be a great fight. So for us, I would rank this a 5 out of 5, you know, a 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 for us in our stages right now, you know.
I love it. Obviously, one of the most synonymous fights you were synonymous for was the BMF title all the way back in 2019. We obviously saw the return back in July with your teammate Dustin Poirier taking on Justin Gaethje in the second iteration of that. Just your overall emotions of the overall event, the second coming of the BMF title, and also the finish from Gaethje over Poirier.
From starters, that card was a BMF card. It was a great card from top to bottom. People going for the finish. People like understanding that, hey man, we're here to fight, not fucking play this point game. We're here to hurt people and get them out of it. So it was a good event overall. The whole event, not just a main event. Obviously, main event. I'm butthurt. You know, at the time, hats off to Gaethje because he's a hell of a competitor. But man, I really love Dustin, and this guy's a great dude in and out of the gym. He really is that person you see on TV. He's a fucking amazing father, amazing husband, a hell of a teammate. And we've been beating each other's asses for over 12 years, bro. Him beating the fuck out of me and me trying to kill him, you know, and pushing each other and exchanging techniques and helping each other out for big moments in our life. And he showed up to my fights right before I go in the locker room, and I've done the same for him. And we just share that energy that we've always had, this strong bond. So obviously I was butthurt, man. I was hurt. I wanted Dustin to win, and I thought Dustin was going to win, especially after that first round. There's like 2 clear times that he rocked Gaethje. And that's why I take my hat off to Gaethje, because he readjusted, did what he had to do, came out the second round, complete different story, right? So hats off to him and his camp for the adjustments and stuff. But definitely, I was definitely butthurt about the DP not bringing that belt back.
100%. Obviously, being around that fight week, obviously wrapping the belt around the winner's waist, did that give any emotions to you about trying to potentially inspire a comeback, or was it?
Yeah, definitely. I was like, man, I would love to fight Gaethje. Actually, that's a fight that I would love, man. I don't got nothing against him, you know, just that he beat my boy D. But I would love to fight Gaethje because of his style, you know. And since he got into the game, I remember I already knew about him because he was an All-American wrestler. So I was like, oh man, here we go. We're gonna have another fucking crotch sniffing fucking motherfucker, and he wasn't. He's literally the complete opposite. I didn't know Gaethje at the time or his mindset or anything, or knew any interviews about him. But as I was seeing him fight and progress in other series, I was like, holy smokes, this guy's doing everything but that. He's using his wrestling defensively, you know, and it's good to mix it up anyways. It's not that, but there's a lot of guys that are just like hugging and not doing anything. And those are the guys that I call crotch sniffers, you know. Yeah. But if you're coming in and you're getting takedowns, you're elbowing the guy in the face, they're going to fucking 4, you're punching them in the face, you're getting rear naked, that's not a crotch sniffer. That's a fighter, bro. That's what you're supposed to do, you know. And I was seeing Gaethje do that, and then he went full out MMA. He just does the stand-up, you know. So I would always want to fight with him. We could do that at some point if I ever come back to the fighting.
I'm not sure if you saw, but on Tuesday, Dana White was asked about the potential of UFC 305 taking place in Miami, Florida. Obviously, you fought back there back at 287. That feels like the perfect moment to maybe have a UFC return. I think that would be scheduled around about the September time of 2024. Would that get you out of bed, hosting, being the main event of UFC 305?
When is that? 2 years from now, you said?
That would be around about September 2024, so about 12 months' time.
Nah, man, I'm newly retired, bro. I got fights to promote and stuff, and I love MMA. Just right now, it's not really like I just retired, man. I still go to the gym. Try to go to the gym every day, but that competition and a lot of the things that come with it, I just did it for 20 years, bro. I love it. It's my favorite sport in the world. It's my favorite thing, but just right now, nah, I ain't fighting nobody right now.
I appreciate that. And you mentioned the word favourite, and we want to ask you about 2 people who perhaps aren't your favourites because you've had previous run-ins with them. But it's looking like UFC 295 will see Leon Edwards face Colby Covington for the welterweight title. Obviously, you've had your own differences with both men. What are your overall opinions on that fight, and who do you think takes the strap?
I'm hoping Leon fucking hits it with a baseball bat to the neck and breaks Kobe's fucking face for the whole world to see. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. But you know, there's a big chance that Kobe could just fucking sniff his balls the whole time and just be buried in his crotch, highly committed, because that's the only way he's gonna win is by sniffing crotches. You know, he's gonna just maybe pretend to strike with him in the beginning and then just try to wrestle Leon. I don't know where Leon's conditioning is in that department. So as long as it just he doesn't exchange in the wrestling early with him, I think he'll be fine and he'll win the fight. If it goes that he's losing a lot of wrestling exchanges early on, it's going to be a long night for Leon.
Yeah, 100%. One final question from me, Jorge. I appreciate you're a very busy man. Different promotions, in my opinion, have different goals. Some smaller promotions seek to be a feeder league to some of the bigger promotions. Some promotions want to promote the biggest fights, and some want to be a home for the fighters' ends of their career. What is your essential goal with Gamebred Promotions as a whole? What are you looking to accomplish, not only for yourself, but also for the fighters?
Well, I have 3 promotions. I have Icon, which we actually have sent over, I think, 12 to 15 people to the UFC or the Dana White Contender Series in just 1 year that we did that show. And I also have a boxing promotion where it's just boxing. We did Roy Jones Jr. versus Anthony Pettis. That was our 4th show. So, and all these companies were very involved in it, and it's what I do on the day-to-day. Gamebred, though, it's his own complete separate animal, and we're going to take that global for the world to see. This is the purest and the closest form to combat. No gloves. There's no more pitter-patting and moving. No, this is like, it's a fight, man. It's not they fighting with the gloves isn't, because 100,000,000% is, but this is just a little different. So, and another thing, it doesn't matter who's fighting bare knuckle. You don't have, it doesn't have to be big names. It'd just be 2 pros that you never even heard of. But when that fight starts, you're gonna stay glued to it, because it's always like that. Like, you're watching the fight, oh yeah, and then it's over. Somebody gets knocked out, dead, and killed. So it's very like you're in the moment when you're watching bare knuckle. At least me, I'm such a huge combat addict. Maybe everybody's not like me, but me, I almost don't breathe because I'm so in the freaking moment, you know. I think it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be massive. We're gonna be doing our own thing for a while, and then a lot of companies now are gonna try to do their bare knuckle MMA shit after I already started my shit, you know. And then with Icon, we have a complete different picture than what we're gonna do with Gamebred. We're gonna get the best talent that's up and coming right now in the country and give them a platform to compete on, and keep building Icon out and getting some of the world's best fighters to come compete and pay them what they want, you know, pay them what they deserve, you know, not what they want, what they deserve.
So of all 3 promotions, are you trying to cover all bases, essentially?
Yeah, then 100%. I'm like fully committed in this, and we've been doing it. We got 4 Gamebred boxing shows. We've had about 18, 19 Icon shows, and you know, we've done with a different promotion. We had done 3 so yeah, 6 shows. We got about 6 bare knuckles. So I'm talking about we're heavy in the promoting game. Me and my team, that's where we eat, drink, and sleep, is just to promote and getting these fighters signed, getting the platforms, all that.
I love it. Jorge, thank you so much for your time. It was great to catch up and preview this next event. And I wish you the best of luck for Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA 5 next Friday night.
We're coming to England soon, brother, so don't worry.
When you're there, you hit me up and I'll promote that event.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.